Hello and welcome everyone to episode 223 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, freelance letterer extraordinaire, Brandon Bovia, and, Wano continues to deliver greatness every week.
It gets a little tricky. It's like, how do you praise this thing further week to week? What do you say?
It has been interesting as we are, further and further into the Onigashima half. It is like some weeks feel like it's pedal to the metal in terms of like action and storytelling, and then you get kind of weeks like this where it feels a little bit more mellowed out, almost
a little bit
like things are happening. Things are moving forward, and there's a lot of great scenes, but it does even... I feel like I called last week a transition. This feels like a transition out of the transition.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like Oda does this thing where he gets characters in place, and then they have to readjust to where they're in place too, because they've moved out of that place, though, so you got to get them back into place, and then still have other characters do their own thing, and... it's like we finish off some fights in this. I finish off quite a few fights. It's not like nothing happens as far as that's concerned, but your focus is so drawn to the big fights at this point. It's like those are the major ones left, and you want to see how that goes, where it's like truly investing with how that fight's going to turn out.
Yeah. And that's kind of exciting because it is kind of setting the stage for that, is like what we've got left, right? It is, okay, we're kind of, crossing our T's and dotting our I's, for all of the kind of the major ones that we've been building towards. And of course, starting back, the sort of the round 3 of Luffy versus Kaido.
We basically call it that. It's like, it's going to take a couple rounds of Luffy versus Kaido before it really sticks.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's not too surprising. And yeah, honestly, there's definitely some standout moments in this. There really is, but it in a lot of other ways, because you're not getting those big moments. It's like it does feel more set up than anything else. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just like I will say, like I keep saying it, this is the hardest it's been for me to not read ahead.
Yes.
Like, it's like I thought to just push it out of my mind.
Yeah. Not to tease you out even further, but like knowing, again, at this point, all of the fights that we have remaining and how much time we have left to resolve them, like I have a good feeling like our next like 2, 3, 4, 5 sets, like I feel like there's significant story progress, significant action in all of those, because like we're kind of coming down to it.
We really are. Like we are literally to the wire in terms of things happening. So the results of that should be rather interesting to just see how it all ends up in the end. And I got no idea. Again, there's 3 significant fights that are in the process of happening, and I don't know exactly how they're going to be resolved. That's the fun part. I don't know, especially because once again, we don't have a firm grasp on where Gear 5 comes from. I have an idea, but there's been no rumblings about it.
No, not at all.
So
the best part, I know it's coming. I know pretty much exactly how this is going to play out, and so seeing it, once we get there, I think it will be, you'll be quite pleased.
I'm sure. So, let's not waste any more time and get right to it with chapter 1026, The Pivotal Clash. And I really like this one. This is, Oda went a step further with this one, because it's just, the request is Nami and Leo fashioning cute clothes for a lion club. And it's the I Am Lion shirt that Belle Mare made for Nami all those years ago when she said she hated it, and just like hated being poor because it was a sunflower before, and she changed it into a lion.
Yep.
That's a good pull.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's a kind of callback I could really respect.
So yeah, I'm just down. Plus, that's just a cute clerk outfit for Nami. Like nothing like too,
Yeah.
like you know how Nami can be very over the top at times with their outfits.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Very much. Very much so.
Plus, the cub is adorable.
Yeah. High marks for this one. Most of these requests I feel like have been pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's get into it as we're once again checking in on the Flower Capital. Everybody's still celebrating, having a good time. All these people are just killing each other up in the sky. And we get to check in on Toko, who, is having fun, having some cotton candy. Our why do I always forget his name?
Tengu Yama.
Tengu Yama is making sure she's okay, but still very much concerned. It's like remembering how Tama took off, and Speed, Horselina, was like, we'll keep her safe, sir. As he's fuming on the shore.
Just come back this instant, very, very much just like, these darn kids.
I love the irony of, is she all right? Mm-hmm. There's no way to know. She's across the sea now and just rumble, rumble, rumble in the sky. Nobody's noticed Onigashima flying towards them.
Yeah, no, what, hey, look, don't interrupt the party, right? Like, it's just, there's something great about, like, the visual side of just, like, this giant floating island with a skull and horns coming out of it.
It's a little ominous, I gotta say. It's just a little ominous.
Just a bit.
But we get to Onigashima, which is honestly just a great transition to say, like, she's somewhere off there. And it was like, nope, she's right above. But let's zoom in a little bit and, hey, let's get to the top of that skull. And we're reporting in. It's like, hey, Master Yamato bruised and bloodied, and in the air, a sight that makes me question my own eyes. 2 dragons face to face. Master Kaido's Azure Dragon and a pirate riding a pink dragon, Straw Hat Luffy. So, just again announcing this to all of Onigashima, given these updates, which I think it's
right. Yeah, because that's kind of the biggest mistake, right? Because we spent so many we checked in kind of with the other Straw Hats last week, just like, where's Luffy? It's like let alone Momonosuke, and it's just like, or they don't know it's Momonosuke yet, but it's like, it is sort of announcing to the whole island, like, oh yeah, they're back, yeah, they're good, they're fine.
Yeah, we're getting updates, but I like the concept of it being like, this stuff is so incredible, I can't keep my mouth shut. I have to just report.
Yes, exactly. I mean, how often do you see a site like that? I was gushing just about those panels last week of just like giant, Kaido and Momonosuke kind of staring off of each other. We see more of that here. Like, and it is, I think, some of the coolest, most imaginative shots in the whole manga.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there an old color spread featuring blue and pink dragons that you got all like excited about?
Yes. I think the fact that one was pink specifically, I was like, Oda. And I'm trying to remember, that was like Sky PF, maybe Water 7, maybe even before that. Like, it was very early.
It was crazy early. It's like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, I think there was another really early one, and it might have been the same spread that also had Luffy with the he had a version of the Kozuki crest on his
That's
outfit.
right. God, yeah. It really, I think it really does go to show that Oda thought Wano would be happening way sooner.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's hearing what's going on. Yamato's remembering how Momo was like, if only it could be a great big monster like that, I could actually help. And Queen is like, oh, is Yamato keeping Kaido busy up there? And here comes Kaido's done. Like, here comes the blast breath, and it's like, okay, Momo, spit something back at him. Like, what? I can't. And so he has to do a dodge, which still very
good dodge, the way he coils around it. And, poor Momo. He's just like, I'm not here to fight. No, stop.
I have to remind myself, because it is so easy with the way Momo acts. And granted, he is still 7. mentally in that
8.
body, or 8 in that body. That it is an older man now, but I still envision young Momo doing all this and acting like this.
That dissonance will become very funny once we see what he looks like as an adult.
That'll be quite amazing. I think it's a brilliant move on Oda's part to keep him in the dragon form for now.
The dragon form. Yeah, it builds anticipation because it's coming.
Oh yeah, it builds anticipation. You're used to that. For some reason, it's easier to connect Momo acting like this in that big dragon body rather than an adult male body.
Yeah, I think that's also part of it too.
Yeah, so yeah, because Momo is still very much afraid. He's like, I can't do this. Wait, Luffy, where are you going? And Luffy comes out with the elephant gun. It's just, I love every time he hits Kaido and his head just goes straight down into the ground.
Just the force of it, the way that like the rest of his body is like still coiled up. I think just really, he does such a good job of just like showing just how much force it is. And the cool thing is, because before he did that, Luffy, he was like, "Hey, Momo, huh?" And then Momo was like, "I can't do that." And then we see on the next page what it was. He's like, "Bite Kaido and hold on." And he's like, I cannot do it." But we get, I love this. We get these flashbacks, right, of everything Kaido put him through, right? Mm-hmm. All the flashbacks, the death of his mother, the burning of the castle, him, holding him off, gonna throw him off the mansion to kill him, and just all of those memories come flooding back, and Momo does it. He just chomp just right out of Kaido, and thinking your father is a full of a lord, and he's just like it's almost like the more that he remembers, it's like the harder that he's biting down.
Yeah, and it seems to do some damage to Kaido at first because he's reacting to it, but then he just goes, "What are you doing, boy?"
Yeah,
which is just like, oh god, this man is still not feeling any pain.
Even after all that, still, the scales are that tough.
Yeah, and Momo was just thinking, you ruined my country. If it wasn't for you, my father and mother would still be, here. And Yamato's trying to call out. I was like, get away from him, Momo. And Luffy's, meanwhile, is like, way to go, Momo. And he just cracks Kaido across the face.
Man, it is like, it is so satisfying getting those hits. Like, man, we are so back for real with Luffy here. Like it is. I am kind of ready for round 3 seeing this.
What I love about this is that Oda's very much showing why Kaido fighting Luffy in the dragon form is just not going to work. Luffy is he just keeps smacking him around. Like, he has the size advantage, but he can't really do. He's not fast enough to get Luffy himself.
That's actually, I hadn't thought about that, but that's a really good observation, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it does, despite the difference in size, kind of justifies, like, yeah, he'll, either be in, like, his human or his, like, man-beast form. Yeah. That makes the most sense.
Yeah. It makes sense why, like, man-beast seems to be the best of both worlds in a lot of cases. It's why that was the case for Rob Lucci and so forth. Mm-hmm. So, there is a commonality there. But either way, it's like it's doing some damage, and dragons bring storm clouds with them, and that's it for the moon, which is a bit of a problem considering both Dogstorm and Cat Viper were in the middle of pretty significant fights against pretty significant enemies, and both are kind of down at the moment because Jack's like, if you landed one more good hit on me, I might not have been able to stand anymore. And Paraspero just has a candy axe. It's like, don't blame the moon for your troubles. You didn't have bad luck. I just have overwhelmingly good luck, Boss Cat. And
it feels very funny to hear from him after everything he's been through this whole arc.
Yeah, the past arc, and just God, he's been just going through a lot.
That thing, I feel like he did get pretty lucky in Whole Cake.
True.
Despite it all.
So yeah, I love this cause and effect. It's just like, and it's actually a lot, not something we've seen too often, where Luffy's fight affects so many others in the middle of their fights. It's happening now with the minks, and we'll see it happen a bit later, but also is going to be with something significant with him, like a little bit of a rub when it comes to actually beating Kaido. And I think that adds so much more Not that you needed more tension, but
But
not a bad
it's
way
like
to add
all
it.
these little ways in which this fight kind of like it has all these other kind of unintended consequences.
Yeah, because I think, we've read 1,000 chapters of One Piece at this point. We're pretty sure Luffy's not going to die or lose in these cases. That'd be kind of wild after all of this. So you got to add tension in other ways. And, well, Oda's really good at finding those other ways where you're just not sure what's going to happen to other people. It's like, okay, how are they going to get out of this? Rather than just beat up this guy.
Yeah.
And
I also love the reason that Luffy and this relationship between Luffy and Momonosuke, and I feel like this is what Luffy's been trying to do this whole time, just in his own Luffy way, is to like to instill confidence in Momonosuke, right? To kind of to get him to, for lack of a better term, to kind of man up a little bit, right? He's 8, like gender roles, whatever. But like, like that sort of Luffy in his own way is like, no, I know you are capable of doing this thing, even if you're gonna tell me that you're not. And so here, like he's telling Momonosuke, that was an Emperor of the Sea you just took out a bite out of. Is there a single thing left in the world for you to be scared of now? And all he says is just like, no, right? Like it's to prove to himself, that he's capable.
Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, now go. You can fly. Go and stop Onigashima. And the others was like, wait, you just said Momo, right? You think that dragon? Nah, it couldn't be. And then, of course, all of this being telecast to everybody, with Luffy going, don't worry about Kaido. I guarantee you I'll win. Which, of course, just gets a huge cheer.
Rally the troops.
Yeah, from the troops.
Yeah.
And causes Big Mom to laugh. It's like, did you hear that? What a funny guy. And friggin' Kid being like, you better win. And Law being like, what's he been doing all this time? But
yes,
I love everybody just cheering for it. And
this exchange too is like kind of subtly one of my favorite lines from this arc, where Kaido, back in his dragon form, or in his man beast form now, he's swinging his club, and he says, is there even a single chance you can beat me? And all Luffy says is, as long as I'm alive, I have infinite chances. And like, by golly, if that doesn't describe the past 1,000 chapters of this manga, it doesn't get you hyped. And just like they clash, like they do the whole, they're not touching each other thing, which of course
splits the
just
sky.
like every other time, splits the sky, just like we saw with was it Roger and Whitebeard?
Yeah,
just like we saw with
Whitebeard.
Whitebeard and Shanks as well. Like, it's just one of those things that never gets old for me. Like, just seeing the heavens split open. But also, because the heavens split open,
all of a sudden Jack and Paris Bear are like, oh crap, because just the way they stand up is like, don't say a word. Who were you saying had all the luck? And then just Odin one sword style feline frenzy as Cat Viper shatters Parasparrow's candy arm, blasts through his body, destroys his hat. Parasparrow is down. He is done. Finally, after all this time of him being a pain in the neck. And then, of course, the canine cleaver from Dogstorm, where he uses his sword leg to destroy Jack's belt and blast that whole thing straight through Jack's body and put him down. Like, that is it for the two of them, and that is so satisfying because, again, been a pain in the ass since Zoe and been a pain in the ass since Whole Cake. So to finally have it taken care of, it's still really funny. I
still think it is
so many of Big Mom's family just not able to take part in this.
Yeah, look, we can't climb the waterfall. I mean, again, it makes sense narratively, for what Jack did to Zoe, but hyping him up as the third strongest guy, and then, it's not like, again, I love Dogstorm. There's no hate on Dogstorm, but you would think that, we're gonna. A character this important is going to get taken out by somebody much higher up the rung. No.
Yeah. It does make you wonder. It really
has been.
How far up the Akazaya 9 could have handled? Like, could they have handled Queen? Could they have handled King? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I really wonder. Yeah.
because they did okay against Kaido.
Yeah,
They're certainly more
survived,
powerful
sort of.
than Jack, I'd say. I don't know if they can beat Queen though. That's the one thing.
Yeah,
Queen, I think, has too many gimmicks.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and I guess that's just kind of the poor thing with Jack is that it has been the Jack century of humiliation kind of ever since we got here.
Yeah.
So and even again, like it has felt even that the Tobiropo were kind of more of an issue than he was.
Yeah, it's also really funny that it's so easy to forget that Jack is a fishman.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, we even get the confirmation. Eldest son of the Big Mom Pirates, Perospero, down and out. Lead performer of the Animal Kingdom Pirates, Jack the Drought, down and out. And we get this heavy breathing from Dog Viper as he had a bit of an audience because, shock of all shocks, Orochi is still alive. Which, I mean, I was counting the heads like, I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead.
He just, man, I feel like that is also another running theme of the set. Some of these people who just will not die.
I know, right?
And he's staring off. He's you're kidding me. There goes Jack. But I guess that's not my problem. Though he's just, it's kind of like he's alive, but like, what can he even do at this point?
And we do find out what that is, which is, I mean, he's still dangerous. Not personally,
yes.
But he has ways of becoming dangerous.
Yes.
So
he's kind of got nothing left to lose at this point.
Yeah, very much thorn in the side, I guess is the best way to put him. But before we move on, we do have another SBS. So
I'm fingers crossed for a not weird one.
Well, it's the start of a new volume, so brace yourself.
Right.
Oh boy. First up, after the whole introduction thing. First up, I want a Happiness Punch figurine.
Okay.
And Oda, because it's all in caps. And Oda goes, "You're very loud. What the hell is this? Right from the start? Figurines can be spun around 360 degrees, so that idea is out."
The Happiness Punch only works when the camera's from behind.
Yeah, you need to have specific puff clouds there to block certain bits.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. And next up, if Luffy, Kid, and Law played a game of rock, paper, scissors, who would win? Would it be Luffy because he can see the future? And Oda goes, "Oh, this is a great question. It's true that Luffy can see the future and could do that to win, but Luffy hates cheating, so I don't think he'd look into the future. The three of them don't get along very well with each other. I think they'd end up fighting no matter who wins." Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. And finally, Hesso, Oda-sensei, if Eneru were to actually become a pirate in the Blue Sea, I wonder what kind of pirate flag he would fly. I'm very curious. Something like this, and it's a fan drawing of, basically imagine the Jolly Roger, except with the long earlobes of Eneru, the bandana, and then the thunder drums surrounding it. Yeah. And Oda just goes, "That's good." Like, it's crudely drawn, but it's like, that's a good design.
Yeah.
So there you
get the idea across.
Yeah. So, that surprisingly tame other than Happiness Punch.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get to chapter 1027, Danger Beyond Imagining, where I'm surprised it took this long for somebody to think, hey, let's have a Roger read a request.
Yes.
Where he just happily drew all over a lion's face and now is running off.
I love that you got Shanks and Buggy in the background.
It's like, what the heck is Captain doing?
I'm sure being on the Roger Pirates must have just been I guess much like the Straw Hats, right? Just what has the captain gotten us into this time?
Rein in this man that just keeps taking us this way, but you know what? We have faith in him, so
exactly. It's all fun.
Yeah. But into the chapter itself, it's time to celebrate the defeat of Perospero as he gets Cat Viper gets a big old hug from Carrot, and it's like, hey, watch your eyes. Be careful you don't turn too long, because for some reason the moon's out again, and so they're just sort of taking it easy there. All the while, Yamato's narrating or thinking is like, I read about this in the journal. When Roger and Whitebeard met in combat, the heavens split open. And I guess Momo's thinking the same thing, technically, because they've both read it at this point.
Because they both read it. Yeah.
So
I love that the clash is so hard that it's causing rubble start crumbled down from the ceiling.
As we'll see as we go through these chapters, this castle is just done. There's nothing.
We're at the part where the castle is just, it's all coming down.
Oh gosh, but I love how it is. It's intense because that Thunder Bagua that Yamato blocked earlier with the ice shell.
Yeah, he's bleeding.
He's still bleeding. He's like, man, I thought I blocked it. I didn't even come close. So it shows that penetrating nature of Kaido's hockey, and how he was definitely not holding back. So,
yeah, I mean, hey, the fact that Yamato got away with I'm bleeding a bit, you're fine.
Yeah. That being said, I do think, I bet Yamato could at least beat Queen, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't know about King. I haven't seen enough of King to really say.
I think the interlocking of the pecking order it's a little funky at this point, but I think that Yamato is basically even more so than Luffy, right? Kind of held it down for more time than anybody else.
Yeah, he outdid the entire Akazaya 9 when it came to holding back Kaido.
Oh, when you put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows what the actual time frame was, but yeah. But yeah, I love how Luffy just calls, Yamao, help the coward out. Who are you calling a coward? It's like, come on, Momo, shape up. Shut up. I know what I have to do. But people don't just change their nature in minutes. And Yamato just climbs on. It's like, you'll be all right. I'm sorry about having to leaving your side earlier. And I like how he's that comforting figure at this point. It's like Luffy.
Yes.
Bad cop, good cop type thing.
Yeah.
But they're getting ready to take off, and Kaido's not having any of that. He's getting ready to come in and clock him. But he's like, Momo's just like, Kinemon, Kiku, give me the strength. I promise I'll do my part. And he leaps off, and as Kaido connects, and Yamato just barely is able to block it with his club. But then here comes Luffy wrapping his rubber legs around Kaido's neck, which I think is the first time we've seen him really use his rubber powers against Kaido.
In a little bit. Yeah. I love how just classically goofy, and I love that our kind of separating words, just I know Yamato saying to Luffy, you want to take this one yourself, don't you? And he just got that grin from Luffy. He says, yeah.
Just that pure confidence at this point.
I'm so excited for this.
Oh, same. When you get a smile like that from Luffy as he's getting ready to go into a fight, it's like, oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
But we finally learn how, I don't know if this was said before, but we finally learn how dragons fly. Because Momo's falling out of it. He's like, I'm going to die. And Yamato's calling out, grab this guy. He's like, grab it. Dragons don't fly, remember? You create the clouds and then grab them and then race through the sky. And thanks to Yamato, Momo finally learns how to control his flight.
Which, I mean, we hadn't learned it in this kind of specificity before. All we knew that the dragons could create flame clouds, but we did. I think I pointed this out before. We did see Momo do this in Punk Hazard, but yeah, it's sort of the first time getting a kind of proper explanation for it.
Yeah, and actually understanding how to do it rather than just I'm upset, so I just do it by instinct type thing.
Yeah, that is. I mean, so we're kind of seeing like Momonosuke is kind of just little bit by bit is kind of getting a hold of his dragon abilities.
That's true. And they make an interesting observation because Onigashima is starting to collapse. A lot more rocks are starting to fall from it as these battles are going on. So it's like, could it be that Kaido's power is actually weakening, and that's making the flame clouds unstable? They're not able to support the rock, and it's cracking and falling away. So all this, like we see Kaido wheezing, all this fighting has been having effect on him.
This is a really cool way to show it too.
Yeah, because he's not going to say anything about it. That's for sure. And it's hard to say how much damage. You have to assume that most of that damage is from Luffy at this point, because we didn't see it crumbling during Akazaya 9 or Yamato or anything like that. But all these punches from Luffy is starting to take its toll.
Yeah, I think just sort of the indication that, like, we are actually kind of getting to the end here.
Mm-hmm. What do you know? Having everybody kind of team up and working together to slowly whittle away at the boss does wonders. You don't have to make it a one-on-one deathmatch. Dragon Ball, Cell.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Is sort of like, I think it is good to confirm to the reader that, like, it's working. Mm. This is actually working. Because even up to this point, between Kaido tossing Luffy off into the ocean, and then, clearly he was always going to have the upper hand against Yamato. But yeah, just sort of like, it did feel for a while that it just like, this man just will not go down no matter what. So it's like, no, it is actually working. We just gotta just keep pushing.
So yeah, but again, that gives it creates a bit of an issue because it's a disaster waiting to happen. So Momo starts trying to push against Onigashima to hold it back. And it's like, I turned big in order to stop this island. And Yamato's like, nah, that's not going to work, Momo. And it's like, there's no time. Look, the capital is so close. We'll arrive in no more than 5 minutes. So I was like, oh boy, we got those 5 minutes again.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, Namek will explode. You've got about 5 minutes left.
But we got delay tactics here because we got to make more flame clouds because Kaido created the gigantic dragon-like clouds, and that's how he's moving the island through the air. The only thing that can push it back is even stronger flame clouds. It's like, that's impossible. I only just learned how to fly, which, fair. That is a massive power boost that Momo has to go through in order to stop them.
Yeah. And of course, he's still trying to talk himself out of it. He's still got the anxiety. He's like, I might not have the same power as Kaido either. But I was like, you made the flame clouds. Like, you can do this. Yeah. We have to. It is funny, just how much we have to pep up this poor boy. Even though this is kind of an impossible situation to put him in.
Yeah.
And even as Yamato says, right? It's like, even if it settles down on land the way Kaido envisions, like, there will be terrible losses within the city. So it's like, even if we beat Kaido, and this was, we had kind of established this earlier, but like, no, it really is kind of dire here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, if Kaido wins, then it gently lands on well, as gently as you can imagine, onto the Flower Capital, and hundreds, if not thousands of lives will be lost. But if we beat Kaido, there's a lot of weapons and explosives in that island. It's basically a giant bomb, so even more people will die if we beat him, and it plummets out of the sky.
Great, yep.
And I love that, like, oh, what do you do in that case? Like, that is, like, we can't get people to evacuate. It's impossible at this point. So, what do we do? And he's like, okay, should we stop Luffy? He's like, and I love Yamato just cracking Momo in the head. Like, don't be stupid. You want to stop the man putting everything on his back and standing in the line of danger for everyone? No one but Luffy can beat Kaido. We can't tell him about this. We have to get through this danger without anyone finding out. And I love that because it always, it once again gets back to the heart of One Piece so much, where Luffy can do this one specific thing, but he can't do everything. So he needs help in order to make everything succeed, to get him there, to protect other aspects. He will take care of the big problem, but the little problems need attention too. Yeah.
And I like that Yamato kind of immediately like kind of understands this, right? He kind of understands what Luffy's role here is and what like, okay, this is like the thing that only we can do now. And so we've kind of, as we're kind of settling into putting our characters in place for kind of the big finale. Like, we are like, okay, we have one more thing for Yamato and Momonosuke to do.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. There's a big question. It's like, what is Momo going to do throughout Onigashima? He's a kid.
Well, and the fact that he actually is a really important part of how this is going to end is, I think, really, really, really wonderful.
Yeah. You
that he's not just like a kid you protect. He's not
like,
on the sidelines.
It's the same way as like Vivi played an important role. Rebecca played an important role, and so forth within Dressrosa.
Yeah, and I think that like that's getting to, I guess, like that it's not just about like, oh, Luffy can beat the bad guy, but it is also about like giving, kind of giving people the courage to fight back on their own.
Yes, that's been the consistency there, and it's always good. It's always entertaining, and you want to see it. It's funny to see these patterns that Oda's used again and again and again, but they always work.
They always work, and they've always got fresh twists.
Yeah. But let's get back to the performance floor as King is apparently losing it, and you see waves of slices just getting sent out that are cutting up the buildings. Zoro's trying to hold off from it, and it's a wild look for King from behind, where he has, I guess, going into the man beast form, where he has his pterodactyl wings going out and doing this thing, and it's so powerful that it sends Zoro flying out of the performance floor straight into Frankie, who catches him. It's like whoa, Zoro, what happened to you? It's like, just fastball special that.
Yeah.
Like, man, he's strong, but of course he is. It's like, what is happening? You want any help? Nope, no need. Just dying.
And then, meanwhile, we have a queen who's like, damn it, King, knock it off with the chaotic attacks. You sliced my butt. He's just like, I wish I sliced your neck. It's just these, there's a little bit of that Zoro Sanji energy.
It really is. Which makes the matchup all the better, how that ultimately ended. Pirate Hunter Zoro just damaged King's mask. No wonder he snapped. After all, nobody knows what King's face looks like. And here comes King again, looking sick as hell.
Yeah. You can understand why he's pissed.
Yeah, has a bit of the horns cut off from the one side from that mask.
Yeah.
And again, I am so curious if Oda's going to maintain this level of seriousness for King the entire time, or if he's going to get silly. That being said, I'm going to say that he's going to keep him serious, because I think, to me, this is kind of on the level of reaching that next stage, the same way Mr. One was. Because Mr. One was completely serious. He's not a jokey character.
This fight is very Mr. One coded. There's a little bit, like, it's not. I think the gag to serious ratio is much more like Mr. One than, say, maybe, like Pika, for example, right?
Right.
We're not dealing with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that this fight is entirely humorless, but maybe like 90% so.
Mm-hmm. I think back,
but either way,
thinking back to Pika. God, was Pika the last big fight Zoro had? Oh God,
yeah,
that was such a.
If you don't count, Killer.
Yeah, which really wasn't much of a fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, compared to that versus like what we're already getting here, it's like night and day.
God, Pika. Thinking back to Pika, that was probably the low point of Dressrosa. Is that Pika just seemed like such a waste for Zoro.
Yeah, you really want to see Zoro like push himself to the next level with like stronger and stronger opponents. Not necessarily that they have to be like entirely super serious the entire time, but we had already gotten like Fisherman Island was every Straw Hat's like, okay, yeah, we're just better now, right? Like we can just take these guys out with ease. And then Dressrosa was kind of just more of that for Zoro.
Yeah, nobody really got pushed the same way that. Zoro never got really pushed at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is kind of the first time in a really long time we are actually seeing Zoro having to try. Like I was joking. It was like Zoro was just kind of on autopilot, and it feels like he finally has to take off autopilot.
Right. I do love this interaction. It's like, sorry, Frankie, you got to stand back. You got it. Good luck. And then Frankie dashes off. He's like, I'm out of here. I know
peace out.
And we get this clash between the Imperial Archer and the three-sword style Ultra Tiger Hunt, which is powerful enough to basically trade off some damage where Zoro gets flung back again.
And it looks like it tears off even more of the mask.
It does tear off even more of the mask because you get to see his hair, King's hair, a little bit of his skin where it's a darker tone. But Zoro has another issue where he's literally flying outside of Onigashima. He is out in the open, which means, this makes sense for this fight. This is how you get a pterodactyl. You need him out in the open air.
I love this move, the two-sword style clear lance, where he can just kind of use the force from his swords to make a landing.
Get himself back on. So now we get the side of Onigashima for Zoro's fight.
Yeah.
So I do love this final conversation between the two of them. It's like, at least let me die by the sword. Show a little respect. And as you see the mask chipping away, it's like, I'd ask the same of you. So what does King look like? Because it's gonna happen. We're gonna see that face.
We're gonna have to see that at some point. And clearly he doesn't want anybody to see that. Just the idea that part of his mask got knocked off immediately got him to snap. So clearly this is not something that we want to happen, and clearly what Zoro does is probably not going to be very good news for him.
No, you can already see the vein popping out from his forehead. So it's just enough to show you this man is livid.
King is such an interesting character. I love that he is just kind of just like this, not to the same level of Kaido, obviously, but for Zoro is also just this kind of imposing, indomitable force.
Mm-hmm. Again, all of a sudden it makes much more sense that this is the man who just basically swatted aside Big Mom's entire pirate ship.
Oh yeah.
That fits. No SPS for this one, so let's go ahead and just jump right into chapter 1028, Brachiosnakeus.
Yes.
Which is amazing, but also amazing. I love this color spread. The fact that it's video game based. You got the gamers being being Usopp and Nami. Nami's in has the cat
ear headphones.
Yeah, cat ear headphones, which is perfect. Usopp's eating his Pocky while fries while having VR glasses on, and then you get to see what all the different Straw Hats get to be. So I did my best to try to identify him. So we got Jinbei as Mario, which is just adorable because the best part to me is that he's kind of embarrassed. You can see his the red on his cheeks where he's sort of he's
a little blushing,
like, oh god.
No, that's so funny.
Sanji straight out of Splatoon.
Which,
okay. Frankie is Donkey Kong, which is great.
Yes.
Luffy is Ken from Street Fighter, which is Luffy with that hair is wild.
God.
Robin is Morrigan from Darkstalkers, going the devil succubus route. I'm not 100% sure what Brooke is.
I'm not really sure either.
My best, the crowd.
I almost get a Dracula. I get a Dracula Castlevania vibe.
Yeah,
almost,
that was my best.
It's a little. Guess. Or honestly, because of the hair, is it the same? Excuse me, the same hairstyles that Kid Dracula?
Maybe a little bit
the way the spikes
Kid
going
Dracula.
up.
Yeah, a little bit like Kid Dracula. Gosh, I wish I knew. I can't. I'm really trying to think what it could be, but Castlevania related ish is the best guess. Zoro, of course, is Link.
Yes.
Where
he makes for a good Link, honestly.
Yeah, a good Link, but also I love that squeeze a little bit of Dragon Quest in there thanks to the shield, because that's definitely much more of the Dragon Quest insignia rather than the Hylian symbol. But I do love Zoro with the ears. Chopper is a monkey. I don't know what monkey.
I kind of, because of the eyes, I thought he was a Dragon Quest slime.
Oh, it could be a slime. Yeah.
Top.
But the tail, there's a tail coming out. That's what confused me.
Yeah.
And it has like a little, some teeth coming down.
Supposed to be then. Yeah.
But I'm not sure what monkey would be. Because it's not Eye.
Yeah. This also gets me very confused then, because I was racking my brain for Sanji, because like all the other ones are like retro games.
Uh-huh.
So I was trying to think of what would like an arcadey retro game, you know, with a like a water gun be.
Oh, you didn't clock Splatoon at first?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but like it's the only thing I can't think of anything else it could be.
Well, here's the thing that might convince you that it's probably more along those lines. Did you notice the background? That is straight up.
It's
Smash Brothers. They're playing Smash Brothers.
That's why. Okay, duh. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Morgan's not in Smash Brothers. She should be. Morgan should definitely be in Smash Brothers.
True. You know, for some reason, I've seen this spread a bunch over the years. I had never the fact that Smash just never came up.
That's amazing. This is fun. Again, I think my favorite out of this group is probably still Jinbei, though.
Yes, I think Jinbei Mario is just so funny.
It really is.
Just incredible.
All right, well, let's get into the chapter itself, because we got some more incredible things happening.
Yes.
Where we're checking in on CP0 once again, because they're having a bit of a conversation. It's like, do you think I'm lying? I'm not saying that. There's a second dragon here, one that's not Kaido. We all saw it. So that must be the devil fruit that Vegapunk created. It was flying with Straw Hat Luffy, meaning the dragon is an enemy of Kaido. Sounds good to me. We want these pirates to destroy each other. And that's when we find out that this is a phone conversation where I guess our head guy... We've never gotten names for these three. They just keep showing up and having like masks on, as far as I can tell. He's just this main dude, just like, why did you call me? We have orders from above. On the freak chance that Kaido actually loses, the nation of Wano, unaffiliated with the world government, will be placed under the government's direct control. The ships are heading to Wano already, so does it seem possible to you? That is insane. I don't think that's a good thing.
Dude, as like... I feel like last chapter with Onigashima, it was really like, okay, we're raising the stakes of like, yes, Luffy's going to beat Kaido, but then what? You know, we have all these other things to consider, and now we have the government rolling in.
I know. The fact that the government rolling in, it was made my heart sink so much more than the bombs. It was like, oh my God, what do you do about this?
Yeah. It's like, we know the world government at this point. It's like, keep them far away from Wano. And I feel like this had been addressed, I guess more so from like the pirate angle, but like Kaido's presence kind of serving as a deterrent, basically. And so the government's consideration is like, well, if Kaido goes down, we can just kind of roll in and take it over.
It's insane. Oh, it's so insane. So it makes me wonder what this man's all about, because he seems to be more thoughtful on ZP0's whole role in this, because he just goes, in the end, what we do isn't any different from the pirates, and we just have the pieces on the game board there. It's like, start of battle, 30,000 versus 5,400. Now 12,000 versus 8,000. So
it's wow.
Yeah,
you're closing the gap.
What a gap! Oh yeah, what a difference. He's like, oh, it's a fascinating battle, I'll admit, but I just can't envision Kaido actually being beaten. And that's when we find out who's on the other end of the line. Rob Lucci saying, I didn't think so. I'll wait for your report. And there's one more order about a member of the Straw Hat crew. And we get to see that, oh gosh, it's been so long since we've seen them. I'm blanking on their names.
This is Kaku, and who's asleep.
Yeah, Kaku's just sleeping.
And Stussy from Whole Cake.
Yes, I remember her from Whole Cake. Well, I was too busy talking. I missed her name again.
Oh, Stussy.
Stussy, that's right. God, that was such a great reveal that she was part of CP0 the entire time.
yes, it was. I was waiting for that one. So, yeah, she's co-workers with Lucci and Kaku, which is just a really funny thing to think about.
She's upgraded cauliflower.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. She already seems way more interesting than Cauliflower if it was.
Yeah. I'm quite fond of Stussy.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
Fair. But yeah, of course, they want Robin. No matter which way.
Which is very, very funny coming from Lucci.
I know, right? It's like, oh, we're back here again. Great.
Yep.
No matter which way the battle goes, that woman's existence is key to the forces of piracy. It will. They just go, all right, we'll be done. And fortunately, we have.
I like as they're talking about this, we see Brooke just cutting foes down left and right.
Yeah, Brooke is like, he's sort of in the Robin role where he just gets to deal with the riffraff, but he's doing a really good job of it. Where it's like having no issues.
Yeah, and look, your current objective right now is to protect Robin. You're doing a darn fine job of it right now. Yeah. So just shouts out to my boy.
And the repertoire between these two is so good. It's like, oh, it's so good to have you around, Brooke. It's like, careful, I'll get carried away. It's like,
yep, I love him. I love him.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh goodness. But yeah, time to check in on Onigashima itself, and Mo was like, I can't make the clouds, and still only 5 minutes left. It's like, it's too cruel. Don't leave me on my own. It's like, and Yamato's just going, stop this, Momonosuke. Don't whine about it. You can do it. It's like, no, I can't, but I must. And so I summon the flame clouds. I summon these. It's like, if I do not do this, countless people will die. And we see him trying, and it's just little puffs. It's like just poof, nothing.
No, I am with some of these faces. I am kind of like, no, it is actually funny that this 28-year-old man is like,
I know, that's why it fits so much better that it's like the dragon form, because we've seen him freak out in his dragon form before.
Yeah.
So to see it here again and fleshed out.
But it's very funny that we have two dragons of kind of equal size, and Kaido is like, oh god, he's so menacing, and poor Momo here is just like, poof, flame clouds, poof, poof.
Oh gosh, but he's getting determined. He wants to make it happen because he refuses to let the bomb fall in the city. All the while, Yamato, going man beast form, climbing up the side of Onigashima. So friggin' badass. And we get his plan. It's like, listen closely, Momonosuke. I'm going to head back to the Skull Dome right now to keep the damage to a minimum in the case of absolute disaster. The massive armory beneath the Skull Dome contains countless explosives. If I don't do something about them, the worst case scenario could be dozens of times more destructive. So there's basically splitting up now to try to like mitigate the damage as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the first time we get to see his beast form, which I'm a big fan of. That's a cool
awesome
look.
Yeah, very, very cool, kind of godlike wolf form almost.
Very Amaterasu.
Just kind of. Yes, yeah. Just racing, right through Onigashima, but with the, poor Momonosuke left all alone again.
Yeah, freaking out. Oh, goodness. But back to the performance floor, because Queen has never left. This is where Queen has been the entire time, as this place has just gotten wrecked. Like it's amazing how this is where he started, and this is the main point of combat at all times.
Yes.
But it's Sanji versus Queen. He's trying to do the flying pan, and it's tough because he's really heavy with all that the mechanical work, and has to dodge a sword, and Queen's trying to bait him. It's like, come on already, show it to me. I want to see the German 666 battle suit, and he's bashing through things and sending Sanji flying and worrying Chopper. Is like, I know you used that battle suit against King earlier. It made you disappear. That would judge your science at work, wasn't it? And all the while, Sanji's just trying to figure out something's definitely off with my body. I don't know what.
Yes. And of course, this is like worst case scenario for Sanji, right? Because all this time Queen's yapping, he's like, put on the smoke, Vince Smoke. And he's like, do not call me that. You don't know the first thing about my family situation. Scratch that. They're not my family at all. I'm not wearing it. just stop it. Leave me alone.
So he has to dodge the black coffee beam, which he does. And I love this. Diable Jambe, bien cuit grill shot. And I love the grill marks on Queen's body. That's so good.
It's a really good shot, too.
Mm-hmm. Sends him flying back, and goes back into the Brachiosaur form, and Sanji's definitely getting tired out, and he's just like, okay, there's got to be a better way to break through his dino toughness. And Queen's commending. It was like, yeah, that body of yours definitely, it may be organic, but it packs a pretty good punch. But let me show you, let me stash the mechanisms and show you pure dino terror. Oh my God, I love this. Dinosaurs ruled the world for hundreds of millions of years. Witness the raw power of the king. And all the men are hyping up. It's like, here we go, the true power of the ancients. And he flicks his tail up against the wall to get ready. Brachiosnakeus. And he launches his tail and neck out of the Brachiosaur body. So he's just a snake.
Yes.
And everybody's freaking out. It's like, is that how that works?
Well, and of course, well, one, it does work. Well, Sanji's just freaking out. It's this giant snake hurling towards him. But, Queen actually is able to, wrap around him and, just trying to choke him out. And he's like, "Mwahaha, caught you napping. This is what a Brachiosaurus can do." And just like with Frankie, Sanji's like, "Damn, I had no idea."
It's so good and so ridiculous. It makes me wonder, what would happen if he transformed back into his human form right now?
I'm horrified at the thought.
Because in my mind, it gets the idea that Queen might be more of a cyborg than Frankie.
Yeah, is there another tiny man inside of the big fat balloon man body?
I guess so. It seems like the only organic part of his body is his head, because he has
possibly
because he has the weapons coming out of his throat, and he has his hair being a weapon as well, like a claw.
Yeah, no.
So
it's so insane.
I'm just I'm kind of horrified at the entire thought of it.
My favorite thing about all of this is all of the chapters where you were like, what on earth even is Queen?
And I still don't know.
Man, you have no idea.
I love this.
He's a Brachiosnakeus.
Brachiosnakeus. Gotta watch out for Brachiocoilus. I love the build up here. Even the masters of color of armament hockey cannot prevent broken bones and ruptured organs from this pressure. They all get taken out of commission. But you're not putting up much of a fight, Judge's son. Never calling him Sanji, just always referring to Germa instead.
Yep.
It's like, hey, I'll give you a little breather if you show me the power of Germa. And Sanji's like, never. And just look at that. For a normal Brachiosaurus, that leftover material would be useless as legs on a snake, which is okay, he's like, look,
what are we doing here?
He's like, yeah, that part I just left behind. If a regular Brachiosaurus do that, which, to Oda's point, we don't know that Brachiosaurus can't do
that. That
this.
is true. There's no confirmation.
There's no confirmation. But to make use of that leftover body, he's like, I equipped brachio launchers on my torso. If I call out their name, they'll shoot right at, and then they shoot at him.
No, I was only explaining it. It's just a classic villain gag.
He's like, you idiots! You're only supposed to shoot when I call out brachio launchers like an attack. Oof! He gets hit again.
It's great. It's fantastic, and has the added benefit of Sanji got free.
Yeah, Sanji is free. Maybe not in the best shape as Chopper is quite concerned, and we see the next panel where Sanji's a bit of an accordion man at this point.
Yes, I feel like we are veering further and further into cartoon logic.
Yes, we are. He just goes, I don't know, it hurts, but I can still move fine. It's like, you look freaky. Did you turn into a zombie? All of your bones are broken. And Sanji just pounds his body back into shape, and he starts having a panic attack. It's like, oh no, I hope I didn't awaken latent powers like theirs. And here comes Queen as Sanji's having this existential crisis with his sword, cuts it across Sanji's neck, and all it does is kind of pound his cheek a little bit. It's like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to be a monster like this. As the sword breaks on his body.
Yes. So Sanji, like I said, is going through a puberty, basically.
Oh my god!
But does come with a bit of, it's a bit of an upgrade. Just as Oda just always loves bullying Sanji. I don't know how else to put it. Like, he's gonna give him the thing he wants in the worst way possible.
Somehow using the suit activated more of his abilities as a German 6 family member. I don't know. I'm so curious about the eventual explanation for all this, because it's like
that's more or less it.
Okay, so this is just what his brothers can do. Hot damn.
Yeah. So he's got it, but like, does he want it?
No.
But
I love
but
how,
of course, also there's the. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, it's like I didn't expect like really early on. It's like, we're gonna save the battle suit for the end of Wano. It's like, he'll break it out then, and then Oda shot expectations by saying like, no, he's gonna use it right away.
Yeah,
and then
just that there are consequences for using it.
Yeah, consequences and a new thing that he can pull out that helps the Looney Tunes logic, as we said. Yes. So.
I'm glad, because I mean it is an upgrade for Sanji, which is good, but he's not gonna like it.
No, not in the slightest. But let's go ahead and check out our SBS before moving on. And first up is I got so excited by the powerful scene where Momonosuke and Kaido became dragons and squared off against each other. I wonder if this scene was modeled after the twin dragons painting at Kenninji Temple, which Oda had previously visited for an interview. And Oda goes, "That's right. I went to Kyoto before entering Wano country. I saw it in person. There were 2 huge dragons on the ceiling. The painting was very impactful. I thought to myself, I definitely have to draw this. And I wish I could better show it, but it's a very tiny image pulled from there. But it is, just imagine traditional Japanese painting where you got those looks where they're facing off against one another.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, it's the same idea.
Yeah, very much so.
Kind of beat for beat, which
is,
again, I just feel like in terms of visuals, it's one of my favorite panels.
Yeah, it's very good. So yeah, that's fun. Next one is, how does Frankie sleep? Because he has the giant shoulders. It's like, okay, here's a clear illustration. This is totally fine. Frankie can produce a cushion called the Frankie airbag from around the back of his head and waist, so he can sleep comfortably in any location. So basically, just imagine him lying on his back, but because of his giant shoulders, he's like, his back is not actually on the floor. So instead, he puts out a cushion that fills in the gaps. So his arms, his giant shoulders are on the floor while the rest of him is on the cushion.
God, Frankie, you're a madman. Maybe not as much of a madman as Queen, but madman all the same.
Mm-hmm. And another question about Frankie: are the lines on Frankie's arms hair? Yes, it's hair. So he kept his arm hair to keep his manly arm hair. And finally, is the is the 9 sword style Ashura Bakai Mojo no Tamamare technique used by Zoro in chapter 1010, named after the Rakugo story. Forgive me, Jigoku Bakai Mojo no Tamamare. And Oda goes, that's right, it's a well-known Rakugo story. I know, none of you listen to Rakugo, but isn't the title cool? The performance was the specialty of Master Baicho Katsura, and the story is like seeing a sightseeing tour through hell. It's enthralling.
Cool.
Weren't you telling me that there's a Rakugo like manga now?
Oh yeah. Akane Banashi. It's in Shonen Jump. It's been running for a good few years now.
I bet Oda's a big fan.
I've only read the first. I bet he is. Actually, I feel like I have vague memories of him promoting it in one of the SBSs later on.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
we're probably not at the point where
I've only read the first few, like first dozen, maybe like couple dozen chapters. It's fantastic, and there's an anime airing right now, which I've heard is a really good adaptation.
Nice.
But I need to sit down and read more of it.
It's funny to think that came out and it's still probably before that all happened. Because again, we haven't even had a mention of live action One Piece in these SBSs.
That is true. That is true. I know there's a spread to promote the live action. I obviously it's got to be upcoming somewhat soon. I don't remember exactly when it is though. So that'll be fun to get to.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, so far SBSs haven't been too bad. It's weird.
Thank God. Man, this is one of the better weeks.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to chapter 1029, The Tower, as it's time for Bonnie to have a read request where she's having a soba eating contest with some otters. And I don't know why Bonnie still sticks out to me as one of my favorites of the worst generation. Like, I hope it pays off, like whatever she ends up doing, because she's always come across as the most mysterious to me. Other than...
Yeah, and I feel like, especially now at this point, because we're here at the end of Wano, and it is literally her and Rouge, right?
Yeah, just her and Rouge that we've seen nothing of.
Nothing of, yeah. Well, and even of that, right? Like, Rouge has literally nothing,
yeah,
right?
All Rouge has is that he saw Kaido try to jump off a cloud. Bonnie, though, has that interaction with Blackbeard and... sneaking into the whole
Mary
Joa, which wow, I did not think to have this sort of like thought all of a sudden. I wonder if whatever happened to Vivi is because of Bonnie.
Oh, because she can change ages.
Yeah,
so
because she saw that she was sneaking in there and as different ages. So I wonder if,
That's a very good question. Yeah,
damn.
We will. I mean, there are certainly reasons why she was, why Bonnie was in Mary Joa.
Oh my God,
that is for certain. That is all I will say on that subject for right now.
Yeah, I know, but it just. Again, she is the worst generation member that I'm just intrigued by the most. Like, what is her deal?
Yep. Oh boy.
Anyway, let's get into the chapter itself, where we're back with Queen and Sanji, and the sword is. I love the shot of the sword in the foreground just breaking apart.
Yep.
After all that, and it's like, wait. What? Master Queen's sword broke, but he landed a hit on that guy's neck just now. Was that color of armor? Whatever it was, it's impossible. It's like, and Queen's just smiling. I know you didn't use any hockey. I remember what Judge once said. I can give the human body an exoskeleton. I can give it abnormal regeneration. I can give it great physical strength, and most of all, an unfeeling heart of ice. And that, of course, is really freaking Sanji out. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, no, I didn't mean to. I don't want to turn out like those heartless monsters. And he just starts running away. He's like, what's happening? Yeah. Stop. What's happening to my body? Think back. What did I do? Give me time to think. Am I going to lose my humanity? Like, and you get it. That's his last connection to his mother.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like this is adding a much needed element of drama, like for Sanji to kind of come to terms with some of the stuff. But you especially, I mean, like after Whole Cake, man, you understand why we basically went through that whole arc of, Sanji was like, you guys represent the exact opposite of everything I stand for.
Yeah.
And so the idea that he could possibly like lose some side of himself, lose his humanity, the way that Queen emphasizes, like, an unfeeling heart of ice is, his face is in shadow when he's, just ready to fire off laser beams. Like it's you understand why Sanji's like, oh, time out. Let me figure this out, because something's not quite right.
It's fascinating. I have no idea where it's going to go, which makes it really fun. I I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what the end result is going to be
Yeah.
of all this.
This is
I feel like he has
a
to
really
get to
good-
the acceptance part where he's just like, okay,
yeah.
I just have to, like, this is what it is, but I'm going to, use it for my mother's sake type of thing.
Yeah. At this point, it does feel like he's kind of at a crossroads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that was sort of like the, between using the raid suit and certainly there's an element of, I can use the raid suit to be a pervert. and now he's like, well, now that I did that, I have to face the consequences.
I love that that's
of what that did to me.
Used a little too much as a pervert. Well, I think we can think of 3 times he used it. First against King, second as a pervert, third to rescue Momo.
Yeah. Or it gets to page 1.
Right. But he gets page 1. That's right. So yeah. Interesting. Also interesting is like we did see this, like, it hurts, but I feel fine type thing. But yet these shots from these random dudes hit him in the back of the head as he's running away, and he just has this turn back. He's like, that hurt. And it's like, what? I guess the freak out part of it is like, hey, we tried to snipe him. It hit him, but he's not dead. And it's like freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like he does not have bullet wounds.
And meanwhile, here goes Queen chasing after him. Put on the paddle suit already. Show me the power of German science.
It's so funny that this is what gets Queen excited. It's like now that he's like, ooh, he's like, I want to see more.
I got a toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god.
Oh man.
But I think, if I remember correctly, that's all we see of this fight for the rest of it. It's time to shift elsewhere, back to Big Mom, Kid, and Law, where Kid has a migraine. He is down and is not in great shape, and Big Mom's getting ready to finish him off with Hera and Napoleon. It's not going well, and Law's just yelling.
Poor Law having to, you're useless right now. He's having to fend for himself.
He manages to get off a counter shock on Big Mom, not doing a ton of damage, but definitely making Prometheus upset. So he just does that stolen fire right over Law and does some major damage to him. But Kid, God, it is weird to see how nimble Big Mom is as she does a big old flip as she tries to goes for the Mama raid. And not going well for these two.
Going through it.
Yeah. God, that smile from her in that bottom left panel is freaky.
Dude, I'm glad we're finally getting a little more of this fight now, because it is just like, maybe even more of a long shot than Luffy versus Kaido.
It feels like more of a long shot than those two. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're powerful, but I never got the sense that, well, Law definitely showed himself to be broken, but we've finally seen the limitations of where Hockey can block it if you have it high enough.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
this is certainly like the most we've seen Big Mom in action too, which is just like, even relative to like she was basically like a mindless zombie at the end of Whole Cake, and so now here, like, she's in the right of mind and is just kind of like wee doing her like front flips and stuff. It's so bonkers.
And Kid is still trying to figure out what's going on as he wobbles to his feet. It's like, I finally reached the 4 emperors. If I die now, what was the point of my whole pirating career? And Big Mom just laughs and is like, you're funny. Looks like you might die all on your own. I don't have to do a thing. And we, of course, see what exactly Hawkins has been doing that's causing all this. As Hawkins decided to just start bashing his head into a pillar, and that's what's giving Kid the headache. And
all poor Killer can do is, because he has the smile fruit, all he can do is, like, he's clearly in distress, but all he can do is laugh, and he's pleading for Hawkins to stop it.
Yeah, and this is the most sadistic I think we've seen Hawkins. He's taking pleasure from this.
Yeah, he's kind of lost it at this point, which is it feels quite sudden.
It does. It I guess it's kind of been building to it, but there is a line that kind of gives it a little bit more context as we get a little bit further. But it's like, I can't believe you ate a smile fruit. You couldn't possibly be more miserably misfortunate, Killer. And he's just like, he's still laughing. He's like, please, just stop it. And Kid's men are just like, hey, Killer, how come we're not allowed to help? What's with that guy? Is he crazy? He's just slamming his head into the pillar. He's like, just shut up and stay put. Then why don't you fight, sir? It's so frustrating. The fire's creeping closer. We need to get out of here. And you just see, again, in most places you see, the fire's just spreading everywhere.
Right, yeah, it is actually, we hadn't really acknowledged it that much, but yeah, the way that, thanks Black Maria.
Black Maria, Orochi was trying to set things on fire. Everybody just wants to set this place on fire.
Yep.
But yeah, Killer just goes, release Kid, you can have my life in exchange. And then you just get those darkened eyes from Hawkins, and he just kicks, Killer over. It's like, Kid is fighting Big Mom right now, I gather. Will he succeed at his dream of hunting down an Emperor of the Sea? It's good to set your sights high. So stop sabotaging him. Well, if I'm preventing you from succeeding, then cut me down with those sighs, or surrender if you'd prefer. I'll put in a good word with you with Kaido, and I am very curious about that Kid's dream seems to be defeat an Emperor, not get the One Piece, defeat an Emperor, and I wonder why, because we don't really know much about Kid, honestly.
Yeah, I think I could. If I were to interpret that somewhat, I would consider it, because I would consider that he is also after the One Piece, but he is much more specifically about, I'm going to target the Emperor. Like, I'm going to go straight to the top, right? Because that was during the time skip. That was how we saw he lost his arm. He tried to go after Shanks, and it said no.
Yeah, I almost wonder if this is his way of showing he's the biggest and baddest. Like, it's almost like a gang fight type thing, where you got to show you're the strongest or something like that.
With Hawkins, I think, especially with the way some of this banter is, and really the way that, as he's like kicking down at Killer, he's like, you understand why they've ruled the sea for so long, the emperors. You must have felt it in your core biological instincts. There is no way to beat them. And all Killer says is like, don't get emotional now. Besides, I know that deep down you regret the decision you made back then, don't you? So it's like, you feared dying in this future, and yet here we are still standing. So like, you're kind of getting to, I think, the reason that Hawkins is
it gets the idea that Hawkins this entire time, even though he comes across as calm, collected, gathered, he's afraid. He's constantly afraid. That's why he's constantly checking the future, seeing where the best outcome is, and trying to go that way. And that's kept him alive. That's kept him going this entire time. So to see somebody defying that fate, something that he can never get the courage to do, is kind of messing with him. He's like, no, you're wrong. You can't defy it. That's why he's beating down Killer like this.
It's a really interesting aspect of the alliance, right? Like we didn't really see much. Like we saw them kind of join the alliance off screen, and then kind of it all went to hell off screen. But like we didn't really get to see how the characters really felt about it from the fallout. Like we saw bits and pieces with it. You understand where Kid was coming from when he was in the prison in Udon. But I think and we saw it with Apu right at the start of Onigashima, but we hadn't really seen Hawkins' side of things either. So like kind of Killer kind of poking at like his regrets and kind of like you're losing your cool because we made it and you didn't. You took the coward's way out by trying to side with an emperor.
Yeah. And so of course Hawkins goes, we'll see who's regretting it in the end. And Killer shoots back once again. He's like, since we're talking about living without regrets, I guess I'll do just that. Got to sink or swim one way or the other. I have 2 questions for you. If you take damage without a proper conduit, where does that damage go? And Hawkins is just confused, like, what do you mean? You should know how my power works by now. All the damage I take goes straight to Kid as long as I hold his straw doll within my body. And that page flip, I was shocked by this, did not foresee this. It is such great planning on Oda's part. It's brilliant. Where Killer just cuts off Hawkins' arm.
And it's a great shot in and of itself too. Like the high angle, it's just like immediately like bam, it just in the blink of an eye in an instant. I love the choreography and the posing of Killer's attacks. Like he actually gets to look really cool.
It shows how strong Killer is. Like Hawkins, in the end, outside of him being able to capture those straw dolls, isn't that strong on his own. It seems
he's not a frontline fighter for certain.
No.
Like that's not where his like where his sensibilities lie.
Yeah, and of course it freaks him out. It's like, how did you cut my arm off? The damage should have gone to, and that's when Killer reveals Kid has no left arm. And again, it's
brilliant.
It's the same effect as I'm made of rubber against an arrow.
Yep.
And
Yep.
It should have been obvious. Did not think of it. Love when that happens.
It's so good. Yeah. I love this reveal so much. Like it. And also, I know we've had some arms cut off this arc. This one feels particularly violent for One Piece standards. It does. Just the blood gushing out of Hawkins' arm. Like, jeez.
Yeah, that one's definitely a bit more brutal. There's a lot of limbs.
And not only that, I didn't notice it at first, but Killer catches it.
Oh yeah, he catches it because he's like, "Hey, second question. Once I take this one out, how many more lives are protecting your own?" And Hawkins just like, "Congratulations." That's the last one. He's like, damn it, I didn't count on this. And so he's time to bring out his own actual attacks. The Strawman card, Death Upright. The card of destruction, it means I can finally end your miserable life myself. And comes out this straw thing that has its scythe. And Killer just head and claws, cuts that thing's head right off. No issue whatsoever. Goes straight for Hawkins as he's doing his straw sword type thing, and he's like, that straw man will not perish. It will come back to life as the cards dictate. Show me the ending of this fight. And he sees the tower, and definitely freaks him out a bit as the two of them go for it, and bam, Killer uses Spinning Sonic, cuts him straight down the middle.
Dude, that pose is so cool. Yeah. His arms spread out. He's doing a backflip. Like, this is, I feel like some of the most interesting choreography. Even amongst all of the great action we've had in Onigashima, like this, and it, it's not much of like a back and forth. Like, it is just Killer going ham, but like, it's so sick.
It really is, because you can kind of imagine so cool. these spinning swords just ripping and tearing. And I kind of like, that buzzsaw sound effect from anime. You can just imagine that as this is all going down. So yeah, that's it. Hawkins is down, and he has the dialogue. In Strawman cards, the tower means the collapse of the old and brittle, and its hidden meaning is a new way forward. And Kid is just like, my body feels so much lighter. And
just Killer shading on him. He's raring to go.
I was like, finally. It's like, get going, partner. It's like, that's good. That's
badass.
I love the relationship between Kid and Killer. Like, you wouldn't expect it to be so really bro, but it's really bro.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's you definitely see like the he's the Zoro to his Luffy, but like I feel like they're much more kind of on the same wavelength.
Very much so. Very much so. The standout chapter of the set, I'd say.
Yeah, really, really, really good fight.
I love
and again
surprise me.
Killer and Hawkins of all things, you would not expect being one of the cooler fights from the section, but
right?
Bravo.
All right. Well, we do have an SBS before we get to our final chapter, and first up is Oda. I've always had a nose that grows longer every time I tell a lie, but nowhere near as long as my beloved Usopp. Therefore, please tell me the top 5 best long noses and the length of Usopp's nose.
Okay.
So Oda goes, I see. You've named a lot of different long-nosed characters, but I'm going to leave out Tengyuyama Hitetsu and the Giants. So the characters he lists out as ones with particularly long noses is Usopp, Bonchino, which is Usopp's mother, Kaku, Arlong, Mozu, Katarina. Those are the square-haired girls from Frankie's crew.
From Frankie Manley.
Vasco Shot from Blackbeard's crew.
Blackbeard, yep.
Foxy, I think also from Blackbeard. No, Foxy from. I think they missed one.
Like Foxy?
Yeah, Foxy the Silver Fox.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kiwi. I missed Kiwi and Mozu. Katarina Devon from Blackbeard's Crew.
Yeah,
and
she's
Vasco
from
Shot from Blackbeard's Crew.
Okay.
Then Fosky, Mont Dore from Big Mom's Crew, and of course Paris Sparrow. So those are the ones that the fan listed off. And Oda goes, all right, well then, starting from 5th place, it's Kaku. Next, 4th place is Usopp. Oh, how unfortunate. As you'd expect, Usopp is no match for the competitors with height differences and huge faces. By the way, Usopp's nose is 13 centimeters long, which that's pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
Now, 3rd place is Katarina Devon. 2nd place is Arlong. And finally, the long-nosed champion is Vasco Shot. The world is vast.
Oh.
I wonder if someone will appear and break this record.
Huh.
So there you go. Vasco Shot with the longest nose.
Longest nose in the series.
Crazy. And then our other question from this SBS is, I want to become Nami's retainer. So can I have the big kiwi dango that Nami has dangling from her chest? Sanadachi.
Oh. Of course.
Hey, this is Sanada-kun, isn't it? Oh, you just want some kiwi dango, huh? Oh, Nami's phone. Get out of here. It's like Oda's realizing what he's asking for.
I'm glad we saved the worst one for the end.
Yep, because there's no more SBS after this.
Yep.
So we end off with a Sanadachi joke.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Yep. All right, let's get to our final chapter of the set. Chapter 1030, Echoing the Impermanence of All Things. And this reader request is fine. Brooke, careful not to step on a line of army ants. It's fine.
Cute.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah.
Not much to really say.
Yeah.
About what you'd expect. Now, there is something to say about where this fight has gone, because we have not seen Drake for quite some time. We've not seen Apu for quite some time. So what's been going on with them? Well, they're having a private conversation in the cave chamber where Apu's going, I'm guessing that you're a Navy spy, but that doesn't matter at this point. The only thing that matters now is whether you want to take out Kaido or not. By the time the dust settles on this battle, the winner will be at death's door, whoever it is. Finishing them off is going to be a piece of cake. And he has his laugh. Beep, 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 beep. What do you think?
That's
the monsters.
Not Apu's laugh.
Oh, yeah, that's the monsters. Because, turns out that somehow Apu has teamed up with 3 of the numbers, Zonky, Fuga, and Inbi, who are just chowing down, still partying.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
It's like, what do you think? Want to join with us and seize it all at the very end? We're not aligned with anyone here. Why would we fight each other? So, Apu's still playing the game, and Drake, honestly, Alliance still up in the air, especially because of knowing the Navy's out there waiting to claim Wano.
I feel like with this reveal, it becomes truly like shocking just how many different factions are at play here.
I know.
And just how, again, we're further building up to the fact that like once like Luffy beats Kaido, we have a lot to deal with after that. Mm-hmm. There's so many other things that need to resolve. So we are kind of just like putting more pieces down on the board.
It really makes me wonder how many chapters is the battle? How many chapters is wrap up?
Yeah, seriously.
Though it is really interesting to see the way of this, because you had Hawkins and Apu going along with Kaido. Hawkins actually loyal to him.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
Apu not.
Apu was like, even by the time of the alliance, like he was always like a stooge for Kaido, right? So it's funny that now he's like, screw it.
Yeah, I'm playing the long game. I was a stooge for Kaido, but I was building up forces within to try to take advantage of just the right moment. Yeah,
and that's, again, I feel like that's what makes the superheroes so interesting as characters, is kind of like, okay, which ones are like how are they all trying to play the game here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very different tactics among all of them, and to see how they all wrap up. in one way or the other. So I gotta say though, I love Zonky's design, the one with the mustache.
The mustache, yeah.
That is a sick design.
Man, and I imagine aligning yourself with a bunch of like what was it, like clones of ancient giants or something like that.
I don't know if they're clones or not. I've not heard anything about that.
Or
They're
something
just
like that.
The same size.
They're something like that. They were on Punk Hazard. They were like, we found him here, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that that's a setup for it. Potentially ogres too, unless
yeah, they all got the horns.
Yeah, they got the horns. So either they were already ogres, which did. Oh, what's his name? Did Ors have horns? Ors had horns, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the same shape. Yeah.
So ogre. So just kind of ogre thing, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. I'm not quite sure where that's all going, but either way.
Yeah. It is interesting that like the numbers seem much more like they're just kind of mindless, right? Like they don't seem to really have like a, they can't really communicate.
Not fully. They're just sort of smiling and just sort of going along with it. What makes you wonder how Apu got them on his side.
Right. Yeah. How did he?
But Drake just responds, "I've heard enough. What makes you think I would trust you in any way? Let's not get into an argument about who's more trustworthy. I'm bringing this up because I think it would benefit us both. You'll never get an opportunity like this again." And that's where we end it. We have no idea where else this goes. So
ominous. Very ominous.
Very much so. But hey, let's check in on Usopp, Nami, Tama, and their gang of gifters who have got a hold of Kamachiyo, got him away from the fire, trying to get away from the fire, and taking it all careful. When all of a sudden they hear, "It's a freakish monster," and they're prepared to fight, and somebody's running away from, "It's a leg monster. It's all legs." And all of a sudden, did not expect this to come back. Somehow, Kinemon's lower half is gone, has been separated again, and he's talking literally out of his butt again, where he's like, "Whoever you are,
whoever
save
you
me."
are, Pooh goes there.
So Usopp tackles him. He's like, "Wait a second, what are you doing here? I know that's you, Kinemon." It's like, "I am Kinemon. I'm searching for my friends." It's like, "I am a friend. It's me, Usopp." And of course, he can't hear. And it's like, "Oh God, there's a lot of blood. Are you all right?" It's like, "I can't hear you." His ears are. So identify yourself. Boop, boop, just farting. And so Nami has a great idea of putting the symbol, tracing the crescent moon of the rebellion symbol onto his hip. It's like, "Did you just trace that? Then I assume you must be a comrade. Pooh, please hear me out." Where they're just, I love how speechless like Tama and Speed are.
Like, what the hell is happening?
But hey, Usopp might get another chance to rise up because it's like, "Hey, I'm gonna borrow Hamlet. You take care of Tama." And I love how they just attach Kinemon's legs to Hamlet's body.
I guess you could just like stick it on us.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with the dragon, and I think Luffy made himself a centaur. So yeah, that's kind of just what happens.
True.
There.
Yeah.
It's like, on the first floor, there's a ladder to the crawl space in the left tower as you face the castle. My friend is barely breathing and needs urgent help. And yeah, Kiku's not looking so great. And there's fire spreading, not looking good. And just going, "Hold on a bit longer, Kiku. I found some of our allies. It is hard to believe that I still live with my torso severed. After Sir Law cut me in two, perhaps I was never properly attached again. It's a miracle I can use this to save Kiku's life, if nothing else." I had no idea he was cut in half when he fought Kaido. We didn't mention that at all.
I smell a little bit of BS on
Yeah, I was like, when did this happen? Because there's a sword where his would be there unless he somehow fell on it or something like that.
I think he's referring to like Punk Hazard, like.
Right, but I'm saying right now where he's laying, there's a sword directly at his torso.
Oh yeah. Kaido put that there.
Yeah,
so
I missed
the idea that
completely missed that Kaido cut him in half at this point.
Oh well, it was a so like, because I remember Kinemon was like, hanging on for dear life, like trying to just like stab with this little like broken off sword, and then that's when Kaido took the other half and was like, like the problem with samurai is that they would never accept death when it comes, and he was shadowed out, but like he got a good stab.
So it turns out that was at the halfway point, and actually shows that it was never properly attached.
And that's the part that I think is I call shenanigans. I think that breaks my suspension of disbelief maybe just a little bit.
Yeah,
too much.
I mean, fittingly enough, kind of pulling that one out of your butt.
Yeah.
So it's a miracle. I could use to save Kiku's life if nothing else. It's like,
well, hey, guess what? Kinemon's alive. Kiku's alive? ? And we have. Who do we have on the phone here other than Orochi, who is also still on the phone going, hey, Kanjuro, answer me.
He's like, wait, Kanjuro's dead already. And then here's Kanjuro. Yes, Lord Orochi, come on. What does it take to kill this man?
Yeah. Nobody dies except for the people who do die.
I know. It's that's why it's so hard to like be sure if somebody's dead or not at this point. Like,
yeah. This is, I think, where the part where I was like, I'm a little... It's stretching it, right? Like it is becoming unclear to the point where I don't know if I'm supposed to feel bad.
Yeah, it's like, what does that mean for Ashura? Is he actually dead?
Yeah, right. Is Ashura alive? Yeah, like it's just, who knows at this point. It's a little silly.
Yeah, and I can accept Orochi still being alive because of the whole Orochi devil fruit. Kanjuro, I don't know what it is that they just can't finish this man off. But
yeah, I even understand, because that's the thing, right? That like twice Kiku was like, I still share a bond. I can't bring myself to kill him.
Yeah,
that's okay.
And then
after that second time, that was when Kinemon was like, yeah, it was like, okay, no more of this. We're done. And then even after all of that, and I guess maybe, I don't know, Kinemon was pretty tired out after his battle with Kaido, so maybe he didn't have the strength to pull it off. But
I guess
I do like what this enables.
Yes,
but like I don't like the path that we took to get here is I think it is a little much. I think it is you have to. I'm a little tired of the will they won't they, right? Like kill your characters or don't.
Yeah, the dialogue makes it seem like rather than a instant death, Kanjuro's just sort of slowly dying.
Yeah, he's just bleeding out. And
it's like, yeah, the curtains are closing. It's like, you've done it. And Orochi's like, well, you've done admirably. It's a splendid act. And it's like, your praise means everything to my lord. Can you hear the audience, how they cheer for you? For me? That's right. But alas, how galling, how vexum. Our ancestors await a proper theatrical encore, and you must give it to them, Kanjuro. Depict the burning hatred of the Korazumi clan. Who is the true victor? The enduring anger of the Kurazumis prowls the halls of this castle, heading deeper and deeper into the depths until at the very bottom of it all, you reach our burial crypt. Only you can lay our souls to rest, Kanjuro. Which, brilliant on Orochi's part. Like that's a good speech to inspire someone.
Yeah. Like, do your final duty.
For anything else that Orochi's done, that is a good speech to inspire somebody to like use their dying breath to do something, especially to appeal to Kanjuro's whole thing. But also to say like, I need you to blow us all up or blow this all up.
Yes. Yeah. But go down to where all of the explosives are.
Yeah, but it's our burial crypt, so don't worry about that. I mean, he's not wrong. Exactly. But I do wonder if this like. He is finally dead after doing this.
Kanjuro, I want to say yes.
Because like
based on my memory, I want to say yes, but
because he basically does it and then thuds and you see the creature, the Kanzenbo, the being of pure fire.
Yeah.
Which
it's like we have the smiley from Punk Hazard back.
Oh yeah, very much like that. Well, I know who can take care of Kanzenbo. We just need to alert him that he's around. That would be, hey, I smell a brook fight.
Yeah. That would be one way to do it.
Yeah. That has the potential. We'll see. But yeah, it's a little bit of a sloppy setup, but yeah, we'll take it.
Exactly. I like the end point of this.
Yeah. You have
I think
not only trying to protect the explosives from like not have them not blow up from Luffy defeating Kaido, but also stopping Orochi from blowing everybody up.
Yeah. I really think like what this chapter shows, like it's just again just blowing up the scope even more of all of the other moving parts and all of like every kind of invested party's motivations all kind of flowing in and out of each other. There's just it really like we are moving towards the finale and there's so much happening.
Yeah.
There's so much tension building in all of these different ways.
And then we check in with Momo, who's, you can see the dragon flames he's trying to build up, and they're so small. They're just tiny poofs at all times. Like, all I can do is build them up bit by bit. And yeah, this Kazuma...
Come on, man, you got 5 minutes.
This Kazuma is passing through walls, gliding about like some kind of ghost, setting everything on fire. It's truly a sea of flames. And again, those contrasting that with the celebrations down below. It is...
Yes.
There's a real sense of tension and chaos happening right now.
Yeah, I feel like every time we invoke the phrase "ticking time bomb," Oda finds a new way to say like, "Oh, did I say a ticking time bomb? I thought I 2 ticking time bombs. How about 3? 3 ticking time bombs."
Oda's a very big fan of the Hitchcock idea on suspense, where it's like, you know, you could have somebody just pull out a gun out of nowhere and shoot him. There's no suspense there, but to show the audience, show the fact there's like maybe a bomb underneath the table, and then you have to see the ticking and the way it's there. Oda loves that. He's just all about that whole thing. But yeah, I love checking in. Like here's Brooke and Robin. Here's CP0 being like, I think it's time for us to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're looking for Robin.
That's true. I forgot about that. They are like, okay, maybe that's a Brook fight. What is that? Huh? I forgot that they're actively looking for Robin now. We see Marco and Izo actively fighting. We see checking on Sanji and Zoro, and of course Luffy all fighting, and Orochi just being all giddy the entire way is like, allies of Kozuki, emperors of the sea, all who put on airs will be brought low. Don't think I don't know, Kaido. You've got a huge armory beneath the castle. All those weapons I had you create. Go and light them all up, Chondro. Blow it all to Kingdom Come. Now, where's Fukurokuju so we can get out of here?
Yeah, no more of this pirate war. This does not concern us.
Yeah,
that's the funny thing. We hadn't seen hide nor hair of this entire set, but Fukurokuju is still fighting Raizo.
Yeah, and I don't think Orochi's aware of that, so his plans are kind of in trouble if Raizo wins, which I expect Raizo to win. But all the while, Yamato is just flying through the castle,
booking it,
trying to get to the basement where we get the proper look. Is like, here was the floors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the roof. Turns out there's sub basements, and that's where we got to get to.
Of course.
So, turns out Onigashima is a lot bigger than we thought. But as he is going through, all of a sudden, in a Koku sovereignty, as we see the bits of kids, I forget the name of that thing he does, but the punk form, get blasted out because of Big Mom. And she's just laughing.
Again, the scale of it all too, right? Like Big Mom is still raring to go.
Oh yeah, she is going. And again, I worry about the chances of these two beating Big Mom much more than Luffy beating Kaido. Yep. But the fact that she comes out of that wall, going after him, riding on Prometheus, having Hera charge up the electricity crackle around Napoleon. It is a hell of a sight. Like, she is always intimidating.
And the way that the kid got blasted out and she's just coming down like, you're mine, kid. And then we get this interesting flashback where kid is like, hey, Trafalgar, have your powers awakened yet?
And we're getting back to the awakening bits. And it's like, I'm starting out used to it, but I'll do it if I'm on my last legs. But the stamina consumption is extreme and ensures I'll lose the battle. And kid's like, same as this true for me, but we're not getting anywhere like this. So use your last resort to back me up. So turns out both of these two have awakened, and that's been my theory on what Gear 5 is for the longest time. But Luffy's shown no push towards
real
that?
sign of it yet. Yeah, not really any kind of interest in it. And
There's
again,
not even any indication of how you awaken your devil fruit. It's just sort of like you have it or you don't.
yeah. And the idea, I feel like, especially with Luffy at this point in time, right? It's like, if he could have done it, he would have. I feel like is kind of the like with how much he's been pushed, right, and how much it's been like, all right, I'm gonna use Gear 4, and then all right, I'm down for the next 10 minutes, and so like it feels like if he had that trump card, it would have like that would have been kind of established already, and you know, I don't think it's necessarily a situation like we had, you know, the time skip leading up to Dressrosa where it was like, oh yeah, Luffy had Gear 4 the whole time, right? Like I don't think we're dealing with that kind of situation.
He would have absolutely broken it out by this point. He does not have it.
One thing I will say, Law's Devil Fruit Awakening, I got no idea. I have no understanding of how this works. So just kind of sit back and let him do his thing.
Law's powers are probably some of the most ill-explained of any devil fruit.
Yeah. It really is just like, all right, man, go for it.
So he manifests his power into this ball, spreads the ball over his sword and calls it anesthesia, and then stabs Big Mom through the back of her head, coming out the neck. Now, the thing is, the penetration does nothing on its own, so it's not damaging, which probably explains why he's actually able to penetrate through her. So it's able to strengthen it enough that he can get through hockey, get through whatever. So it just increases that, but you lose the damage out of it. However, he has Kroom, which sends shockwave, so it's basically the same as his, like, what is it? What do you call it? The shock thing where he's like...
a counter shock or something like that?
Yeah, counter shock or something like that. And apparently Kroom is the more advanced version of that. So Kroom shock will and just electrifies or does something to Big Mom from within. Yeah. And it's Law who is the one to finally make Big Mom bleed a little bit out of the mouth.
Just a little bit, but like...
And the nose.
Hey, man, that's progress.
You gotta just attack from within. And I love this, where, as far as I can tell, this is Kid's awakening, where he can now use his magnetism to attach it not just to him, but to anything. So he assigns the magnetism to sense. Big Mom.
Yep.
And just unleashes it, where Napoleon gets stuck. It's like, wait, did I turn into a magnet? And then everybody's weapons start flying towards her, as well as all the girders from the towers, all the metal beams just start crashing into Big Mom, and she's looking truly panicked. And it's like, get me out of here, Trafalgar. Don't tell me what to do. So the two of them fly away, are just getting flung from this whole chaos as Punk Clash just collapses on Big Mom. That is cool. That is so
It's cool. Pretty cool. The thing I actually really like about this fight, and again, the way they banter, they're like, don't tell me what to do. Like they are working together but not working together. Like they have their teamwork is so bad, it's so good.
It's basically like, we got no other choice. We need to do this, so let's do what we can.
It is kind of surprising how nonchalantly it's revealed. Like, oh yeah, they can both their devil fruits have awakened, and that's it makes sense that they haven't used it because it is a complete stamina drain, but
yeah, you can tell
surprising.
It's a nice indication that it's a much more recent thing that's happened, because it still goes into the whole Oda thing of, hey, you got this power up. It's not the end all be all. It's not going to guarantee you the victory. It'll get you a leg up.
Very much so.
Which Big Mom's not defeated. There's no way Big Mom's defeated at this point.
Yeah. Dude.
Not after that.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. That is That is not a thing.
Quite frankly, we have reached the starting line as far as this fight is concerned.
Step 1 is done. Congratulations, boys. You drew blood.
Yeah, exactly. And again, with how much Big Mom has been running around, with how much of a threat she's been established to be, it's like, we finally got a good hit in. Just barely. And it took Law awakening his devil fruit. Yeah. Just to draw a little bit of blood.
I think it took both Law and Kid awakening the devil fruit. Unless, I'm assuming that a sign is his awakening. But I could be wrong.
I think that is an easy assumption. Because that is at least the most accurate to Doflamingo's explanation of, you can influence things outside of your body.
Yes, and I do love how it shows that Doflamingo's powers have been awakened for a while, because you didn't see the stamina drain on him compared to these two.
Oh yeah, no, he was chilling.
So I like that even after awakening your devil fruit, you can still there's steps beyond it. Just you can do it now, master it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's the same thing with hockey, right? And it's the same thing with like, Luffy figured out how to coat, with Supreme King Hockey, and then Kaido was like, it was sloppy, you didn't do a good job at it.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, there's levels to the stuff, man.
Yeah, it's all about layers. Oh man, I mean, again, as we said, it's a lot of setup, but it's not really anything concluding. But its individual bits and pieces are so good and entertaining.
Yeah, I really loved just we just got a little bit of Zoro versus King this week. I want to see way more of that. Like that. That is the one I'm the most curious to kind of double back around to. Of course, ending with the Big Mom fight. I feel like that was the one that we had the least amount of up to this point, and so getting kind of a nice uninterrupted stretch was nice.
If I had to guess for what's happening in the next section, I feel like we'll get. I think Sanji's will be concluded. I think Queen will be defeated in the next section. How? I have no idea. But I think as far as the big ones to take down, it's going to go Queen, King, Big Mom, then Kaido.
Yeah, I think because, like, even, I mean, maybe you could... I feel like saving the Emperors for last is like the... Defeating an Emperor, like, once you get to that level, it's like, oh, then King's gone. Like, okay, whatever,
The big question, I wonder if they'll try to go for a poetic thing where Luffy, Law, and Kid defeat them at the same time, roughly the same time.
Oh man, that would be great actually, because I feel like that would really be like, oh, this is like the new era, right?
Yeah.
Like we're getting rid of the old, the symbolism with the tower.
It's sort of poetic in that way that both of them they form this alliance. This group of three, and along with the samurai, managed to take them down.
Yeah, it is wild to think we are like not that far from the end at this point.
I can't believe it. We're what? We're basically 30 chapters from talking about the next movie. So
yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which that's 6 episodes.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, that's funny. Episode 230 is going to be the Film Red episode.
Wow,
it's weird. It's funny when it ends up on even numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, no SBS. There's nothing else to say beyond this point. It's just what it is.
That's
it. Yeah. I'm just. I know myself. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be reading these chapters soon after we're finished.
You can't stop, man.
And then I'm gonna read it again before we actually talk because
it's hard not to.
I can't not. I can't. It's literally killing me. But
yeah, no, man. I'm right in this hype. Like we are. This set really is like, yeah. Again, reestablishing Onigashima is the ticking time bomb. We've got Kazenbo. We've got all this other stuff happening. Like this. We're in kind of the final stretch of Onigashima. Like this is it.
Yeah,
we're gonna start. I feel like next week onwards, like we're wrapping up these fights.
We've got to, because we have to also have wrap up Wano. So
yes, exactly. That's also true. So, even Wano itself is another ticking time bomb.
Right. Jeez. Oh my God. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Oh man, I can't wait. But with that, I believe we've said all we wanted to say about chapters 1026 to 1030 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job, and yeah, that's it. Nothing to promote this week. Just follow me as usual. I was trying to find a way to loop that into chill the Patreon, but I was trying to remember. We did the Q&A last week.
Yeah, we had a fun. We've been having some really fun Q&As. Like that's have some questions that felt very Oda-esque as far as what he gets asked.
Yes.
Like, in our case, is like, which Pokemon would we assign to the Straw Hats, to the worst generation, that sort of stuff. So those are always kind of fun to try to think of that stuff and go beyond with the bonus episodes and whatnot. I do also want to show appreciation, because I've seen a lot of comments pop up throughout for older episodes as well, where more people are discovering the podcast and either starting fresh, or they wanted to have they wanted to be able to discuss. This is one of the more recent comments I saw, where they wanted to be able to have that ability to discuss within the fandom about sets, about what's going on, but don't necessarily have somebody they can talk with. So the podcast sort of fills in for that. So it's very
my heart.
So it's cool. It's cool.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah,
that makes me so happy. Oh my goodness.
I very much appreciate, like, everybody's like the listening to the podcast that got you guys through stuff, or just made you work better, or just enjoy beyond. It really does mean a lot.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words, quite frankly.
It's crazy that we have an audience like this.
yeah. That's so cool. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I like, this is the highlight of my week every week, and the fact that we are here, basically, at stuff that was like, this was current to where this when we started this podcast. Yeah, this is kind of. I don't know. I don't have I could not tell you the raw chapter number, but it's kind of late game Wano is kind of where we were at.
Mm-hmm. It'd be kind of funny to actually look up which chapter was current when we launched the podcast.
Yeah. I need to. I might have to look that up later. That's so funny.
But yeah, thank you all so much, and thank you for those that just been with us throughout all this, all these episodes. It's crazy. Let's see. And of course, one little quick show about my book on the Metroidvania genre. That's still available to pre-order. Definitely give that a look. Always appreciated. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as those patron-exclusive bonus episodes and Q&As. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 1031 to 1035 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Don't need to yell about it. You can't hide your regret. You took the coward's way out.